Hey everyone, so this is a very quick intro to my new project vehicle, a project van rather than a project car. This is a 94 Toyota Previa van. These are pretty unusual vehicles, both in terms of their design and their mechanics as well. You can see I've already started to tear into it. I took the body side moldings off to look for any body damage underneath them, and I started marking where there are dings and other things that need some touch up in the paint. I am going to repaint the car. That will be the subject of another video. These are very unusual vans because rather than the engine being accessed, either via the hood here in the front or a doghouse sort of between the seats, this is actually a mid-engined vehicle. And what that means is that the engine is between the wheels here, behind the front wheels. It actually sits right about there. You can kind of see it if I put the camera down here. But you have to access it for service actually by going underneath. This seat flips up and there's a compartment under here, and that's where you get engine access. And the advantage of that is that you don't have a big doghouse there in between the passenger seats. In a rear-wheel drive cargo van, you'd have a big cover right there because the engine would be sitting right there between the two front seats. And in a front-wheel drive van, you'd have a much larger snout out here in the front, and you'd access that engine through there. This is a mid-engine car. It does make it a little more difficult to service the engine because you have to access the engine from either side. And for basic things like checking fluids and adding motor oil, this seat does flip up for those purposes, and you've got an access compartment there. If you're doing more extensive service on it, like changing spark plugs, for example, you are going to have to actually remove that seat in its entirety, and there's another access panel, and that's where you get access to things like the valve cover, spark plugs, distributor, plug wires, all those kind of things that you would do for a tune-up. Pretty interesting design, laid out rather interesting. These second row seats actually swivel so they can face the back seat. And there used to be an accessory you could purchase where you could put a table between the two rows. And those back seats actually split in the middle and actually flip up to the sides if you need to haul cargo. So you don't have to pull it out. You can actually just flip them up and out of the way. So rather interesting design here in the interior. This is the supercharged version. And what is unusual about these vehicles is their rear-wheel drive. So you can see the rear axle and the differential there, and there's the drive shaft. They did make an all-wheel drive version as well. Mine is rear-wheel drive, but it is the supercharged version. So there was a naturally aspirated 2.4 cylinder 4, and then a supercharged 2.4 cylinder, 2.4 liter 4 cylinder as well. So you've got a supercharged engine. You've got a mid-engine placement, the joke with these is that they've got supercar DNA because that is the layout that something like a Lamborghini would have. In this case, this was the path not taken for Toyota. They developed this platform, this mid-engined rear-wheel or all-wheel drive supercharged platform for an entire line of vehicles that they thought they might develop. And the Previa actually was the only one that ever used this mid-engine supercharged rear-wheel drive platform, making it a rather rare vehicle. That does make repairs on it difficult. You're not going to find a lot of donor cars in the pull your own parts yard. If you do, certainly grab every part you can because those are rare. If you are looking for parts like I am, I've got a tail light in the back that I need to replace and a couple other things. You're pretty much looking at eBay Motors, looking for new old stock from a dealership, or somebody just selling used parts online. since these are not, there aren't many parts available for them new from auto parts stores, and you can't go out to the junkyards and find many of them either. This one has a few issues. For whatever reason, all the door locks are not working for different reasons. I actually have most of that prepared at this point. I am waiting on a part that I ordered off of eBay for the sliding door, which needs a new door handle, and actually found a new old stock part from a dealership in Daytona, Florida that they were selling online. So that should be arriving in a few days. Get that fixed. I can put the interior back together after I get those parts. And then I will move on to painting this vehicle. Since you can see, we're here in Arizona, paint's pretty burnt. You've got a lot of clear coat peel going on all over the place. And there are, of course, this is almost 30 years old at this point, so there are a ton of little dings, kind of everywhere on the vehicle. Particularly more as you get to the front. Obviously, this is where rocks are coming at you from trucks and things like that. There's quite a few of those around here. So fixing those, painting the car, and then setting up a camper van setup for this vehicle. So those are all videos to come. I will document any mechanical repairs that happen in videos. I'll document my repaint, the issues with the door locks, all in future videos. But that is just a quick intro to this 1994 Toyota Previa, which is my new project vehicle, and something that I will hopefully be taking on the road this summer and doing some camping with. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this.